There's no feeling in tennis like a comeback, when a player looks completely finished, and somehow, something shifts. There's no clock to hide behind. You can be on the verge of a double bagel and still find a way back. That's what makes it the most unforgiving yet addictive sport in the world. Because in tennis, it's never over. Let's start with the comeback prince himself, Carlos Alcaraz. Against Alex de Minaur in Barcelona, he pulled off one of the most ridiculous match point saves you'll ever see. The match looked done. Somehow he slid, stretched, and whipped a ridiculous passing shot. Then went on to win the second set.
Well, I've got no idea how.
Alcaraz steadied in the third, took it 6-4, and clinched the match. And then came Roland Garros 2025, down 3 match points against Jannik Sinner, serving to stay alive. Sinner had the match on his racket, but Alcaraz had other plans. He saved all 3, broke back, and forced a 5th. Then played one of the greatest tiebreaks the sport's ever seen to clinch his second French Open title. But we've seen this story before. At the 2022 US Open, Sinner again had match points, but couldn't close it out. Alcaraz came back to win a thriller that finished at 3 AM, then went on to lift his first Slam trophy and became the youngest world #1 in history. But Alcaraz isn't the only Spaniard built for miracles. Rafael Nadal's 2022 Australian Open final against Daniil Medvedev was pure grit and belief. Down 2 sets, body hanging by a thread, Medvedev looked ready to close it out in straight sets. Then Nadal did what he has done his whole career. He dug deep, flipped the script, and rewrote history. When he sealed the title, he looked in disbelief. The biggest comeback of his career and his 21st Grand Slam title. And who could forget Federer's comeback of all comebacks in 2017? After missing 6 months with a knee injury, people were asking if he would ever be the same. At 35 years old, seeded 17th, even he claimed he was an underdog. Then he did what no one saw coming. 3 5-set wins, including a final against Nadal. Down a break in the 5th, he found another gear and took the title. And it wasn't just a comeback match, it was a comeback season. He went on to win Indian Wells, Miami, Wimbledon, and another Australian Open the next year. Of course, not every comeback story has a happy ending. Sometimes it's the anti-comeback. And that couldn't be truer than for the original next-gen players. Zverev led Team 2 sets to love at the 2020 US Open final and lost. Tsitsipas did the same against Djokovic at Roland Garros, and Medvedev did it not once, but twice. First against Nadal in 2022, then again to Sinner in 2024. When the finish line gets close, tennis can get cruel. 40-15. That score alone gives Federer stands nightmares. In 2 matches, Federer had consecutive match points against Djokovic. Once in the 2019 Wimbledon final, the other the 2011 US Open. Both times Djokovic snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. It doesn't matter how close you get, all that matters is dominating the right moments. You might think Djokovic is the king of comebacks, but in reality, that crown belongs to Sir Andy Murray. Even before the medal hip saga, Murray had a habit of coming back from 2 sets down, 11 times more than anyone in tennis history. Richard Gasquet knows it all too well. Twice he had Murray down 2 sets to love. Twice he lost. But nothing compares to his 2023 Australian Open match against Thanasi Kokkinakis. Down 2 sets and 2-5, already 3 hours deep. Most players would tap out, but not if your name is Andy Murray. He somehow clawed back, and after nearly 6 hours, at 4 AM, he completed the impossible. Rublev pulled off one of his own miracles that same year against Rune. Down 2-5 in the 5th, saved 2 match points, and then found himself down love 5 in the deciding tiebreak. He clawed back to win it 11-9 with a soul-crushing net court.
What a way for this match to conclude.
At the 2019 ATP Finals, Nadal again looked finished against Medvedev. Down 1-5, 30-40 in the 3rd set, Medvedev had him dead to rights. Nadal saved it, broke twice, and won the tiebreak 7-4. You can never count out Rafael Nadal. And finally, one of the most painful turnarounds in Grand Slam final history. Capriati vs Hingis, 2002 Australian Open. Down 6-4, 4-love, 4 championship points. Capriati somehow reversed everything, won the title, and broke Hingis's heart in the process. So how rare are these comebacks really? Out of more than 17,000 5-set matches in the Open era, only about 7% saw a player come back from 2 sets down. And when they do manage to force a 5th, they actually win just over half the time, 55%. And that's why tennis is different. It's not a game of running out the clock. It's a game of outlasting the doubt. Because until the fat lady sings, it's never over.